We're back. We're back.
Yep.
We back.
What episode is this? Number 10?
Number 10.
Wow, double digits.
We made it, guys.
And we can do a show of hands, who's watched this video? Show of hands.
Yeah, just give us a show of hands. How old are you? Right? Just by a show of hands, how old are you? And just another yes or no question. How old are you? Yes. No. No.
I'm more on the probably not. It's not a definitive no, but it's kind of tentative to be.
You can't say probably not though, because kind of the letharginess of that sort of conjugation is just not very soporific,
But you haven't been looking into the continuity of the jargon, so that's what I'm saying. Your fragmented sentences are kind of bits and pieces as opposed to one contingent.
Oh, they're
sentence.
A little bit more like jurisprudence.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. As long as we see eye to eye here, I'm glad that we can just see sort of more evenly in a way. So I really do appreciate that, and that's kind of going to be a little bit more
and that's going to be the theme kind of moving.
It's gonna be a little bit more flamboyant,
Yeah,
slightly more.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been waiting for?
A long time. You know how long?
You're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, buddy.
Oh yeah. Oh, kind of like Shedeur Sanders in the draft. I mean, why don't we just talk about the draft for a little bit? I'd just like to give a big round of applause for Shedeur Sanders not being drafted till the 5th round. I mean,
hold on, I have to make a call real quick.
Horrible guy. So, actually, interestingly enough, the GM of the New Orleans Saints is calling me right now. Let me just answer this for a second. Hello?
Hello, hi. This is Roger Johnson, the GM of the New Orleans Saints. Am I speaking with Ryan Moose?
You are.
Hi, we decided we want to draft you here today in the second round of the NFL draft. Are you excited?
That's the right decision, Coach. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I know you've been waiting a long time.
I have, man. I have. But you know what? It's God's plan. I'm down for it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be waiting a little bit longer, buddy.
Well, that was kind of rude. And by kind of rude, I mean very rude. I just got a phone call from the GM of the New Orleans Saints saying they're gonna draft me in the second round.
Oh, that's excellent news.
They told me I'm gonna draft me in the second round. They told me you've been waiting a long time for this call.
Yeah.
They told me I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer though.
Oh, it's a little bit longer.
Yeah. They told me I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
Right.
But you know what? God's plan. It's what God wants. I mean, as you guys know, this video is sponsored by Mountain Valley. Don't use our code at checkout unless you want a $5 surcharge on top of nothing off of your order.
But the tariffs though.
Oh,
whenever we raise prices, just
the tariffs.
Just blame it on
The tariffs. So actually, with these tariffs, I forgot to tell you guys. With these tariffs, our code 156. At checkout at mountainvalley.com is actually going to charge.
It's Mountain Valley Spring.
It's actually going to charge you $10 surcharge now because of the tariffs.
Just due to the tariffs,
just
supply and demand.
Tariffs, And I mean, since we are getting lower in bottle count, we were at 1871. Now we're at 1544. So we're going down in count. Therefore, the price is going to skyrocket. I mean, supply and demand, very simple economic sort of things. I mean, that's why the tariffs are in place, to make sure that the affordable pricing of things is just impossible. Recently we have a sort of a rec league nearby, and due to the tariffs, we used to have to pay $20 a head. Now it's $25 a head.
It is.
Yeah, and it's just due to the tariffs. It's just, it's sad. It's sad. SADDAS backwards, it's sad.
Well, it looks like I'm getting a call here.
Oh, are you? Oh.
I mean, looks like this isn't a GM of anything.
This is not a GM of anything.
So we're not going to
let's just not answer that call. And I mean, the phone is a great player.
I mean, he played. See, I'll break down his impact.
Oh yeah, please, kind of just decipher this.
Now,
please.
the phone is an exclusive player. He's he's kind of gonna be more utilized.
He's in everybody's starting five. I think we can all agree
He's
on
more
that, right?
utilized though in
Which
the
league?
semi-periphery in the core countries,
Mhm.
just due to that cell service there. Let's just say you're in the outskirts of Lagos, Nigeria. The phones.
Oh, in a periphery
Yeah,
country?
we'd be more kind of working on wagons, horses, sandals. They're gonna be the star players there. You know, as opposed to if you're in New York City, then everyone needs a cell phone. But
A Mountain Valley bottle, things like that. Yeah, just like the simple things, like
Yeah,
the
but,
little things. It's
you
the
know,
little things.
But when you travel to Ethiopia, your cell phone's not going to be used.
Oh yeah, more of like a bug repellent and like something like that. It's
I was
gonna
about
be
to say
used-
that the malaria vaccine
Yeah,
is
yeah,
probably
yeah,
a
things
bit
like
more
that.
used.
Things like that are going to be a little bit more applicable rather than a telephone with no cell service. But I mean, bygones are bygones. Tit for tat, tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Everything has its ups and its downs and its lefts and its rights.
But
No diagonals.
The
no
good
diagonals.
news for you.
What's the good
I don't know
news?
if you heard. Lagos, Nigeria. They got very, very, very close to developing their first form of electricity.
Oh, really?
So we can expect them to have some cell service in the next couple of thousand years.
So if you guys have any relatives in Lagos, Nigeria, then today's your lucky day.
No, they got close. They don't have
Well,
electricity yet.
It's a step in the right direction. They got their foot in the door.
Yeah, no, the doors were developed a couple weeks ago.
The door. Oh, the door was. I mean, did they invent the wheel there too? Was the wheel intervened there?
No, the wheel hasn't been invented yet.
Oh, it hasn't.
No.
Oh well. I mean, that's a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, there's a lot of objects in this world, and
Yeah.
we're gonna do sort of this thing right now. We're gonna do.
Oh,
this,
are we sort of gonna do this thing?
We're gonna do this thing where I have 10 random objects, and I selected one of these objects, and with these objects, Luke is gonna have to guess which object it is, based on opinion-based question. So not like is your object sharp? Is your object dull? Is your object hard? Is it soft?
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be any of those questions. This is more gonna be personal questions, kind of like opinion-based questions. So I'm just gonna.
Do you want to send me like
I'm just
picture of the list?
I'm gonna send you a screenshot of the list just so you have that with you, and I'm also gonna just select the person I want, and I selected it. So we're gonna send this to you, and why don't we just read it out loud? I sent it on Snapchat. Why don't we just read it out loud for sort of that like thing. So we're looking at a rusty key,
a rusty key. We're looking at a
velvet ribbon,
a broken mirror,
feather quill.
a pocket watch.
We're at 6. We're looking at a torn photograph,
We're gonna be looking at a crystal marble,
music box,
a leather-bound journal,
and last but not least, and I mean this is no better implication of the words last but not least.
Yeah.
The silver thimble.
It's been my go-to Monopoly.
Oh, every time you gotta use the symbol.
You use the top hat. So.
The silver thimble every time, but
So I'm just gonna get right into it. Or would you like me to read my 10 first?
Why
we
don't you
kinda
just
alternate?
Why don't you just read your 10, and why don't we just go through this really quickly?
My turn.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
have a toothpick,
a traffic cone,
a velvet curtain,
like that sand timer type of thing.
a stapler remover,
Stapler remover. Okay, we're looking at a glow stick,
yo-yo,
an ice cream scoop,
cactus plant.
and a typewriter.
Nice.
So those were the 10. That was my 10. So I'm just gonna let you ask your questions and try to. How many questions should we do per person? 3.
21.
3. I think 3 is good.
You
3
think
questions.
3 is enough?
Yeah, and you can just cross off some things while you're going. So then So I'm gonna let you get your 3 out of the way, and then I'll get my 3 out of the way. So why don't you just start? Ask me your first question.
So, okay, is your object gonna be on time? Is he on time?
I'd say he's on time. Yeah, I'd say he gets there on time. He's like a guy who cares about timing and things like that. So, yeah, I'd say he's gonna get there on time.
So based off that, I'm gonna eliminate the ribbon, the rusty key, the broken mirror, the feather quill. He could be on time. Pocket watch, he's gonna be there 5 early.
Mhm.
The torn photograph, I'm gonna eliminate him. I don't feel like a crystal marble would kind of care. I mean, I think he just rolls in whenever he wants.
I mean, yeah, he will just roll.
He'll
He'll
just
roll up whenever he wants. You know.
A music box is interesting. I'll keep him in for the time being. And I think the journal, given that he's a journalist, he's kind of going to want to be on time in most places.
Kind of like a bookworm, you know.
So he doesn't miss the story. And
Yeah.
I think Silver Thimble, as much as we love him here on the pod, he doesn't have an incentive.
He doesn't have that flair and that reason to show up. Yeah.
So yeah, right now I've kind of narrowed it down to those 4: feather quill, pocket watch, leather bound journal, music box.
Yes.
So
okay.
So my next question here for you.
Yes.
You think your guy would be down to, you know, read an encyclopedia in his free time?
I would think so.
You think so?
Potentially. How much time are we talking? How much time are we talking about in this free
Just
time?
in his free time.
Are we talking about an hour?
Couple.
Maybe for the first hour he will, but maybe not for the second hour.
So he'd read part of it, type of thing.
Half of it.
Half of it. So, I mean, did that really? I feel like a music box. In his free time, he'd listen to some music. I don't think he'd be writing.
Yeah, he'd
stuff.
be jamming, maybe DJing, you know, something like that.
Yeah, so we're gonna get rid of him. The leather bound journal. It's interesting. Could he be reading for an hour? Sure. I feel like that's more likely. The feather quill. Ooh, because the feather quill could read for an hour and then write for an hour. So that's where I'm gonna keep him in. Pocket watch. Given that's an hour, he'll time it. So that's a good question. My last one here. You think your object would want to fly?
Would he want to fly?
Would he want to fly, or is he just content being the way he is?
I think he'd be open to flying.
You think he'd be open to it?
He would be open to flying. However, yeah, he'd be open to flying. We'll leave it at that.
I don't think a pocket watch would want to fly. And
now, what are you between?
So I'm between feather quill and a leather bound journal, but a leather bound journal, he doesn't give me want to fly vibes. I feel like he'd be content. You know, he's kind of an old soul. He'd want to stick to the traditional. But a feather quill, he has the feathers. You know, I feel like he kind of fits the criterion of what we're going for.
I see.
I'm gonna select feather quill as your object. Did I get it today? Yeah.
Good job, Luke. Good job. And I think that was very strong execution. Kind of, I think what we were both kind of referencing with that quill flying is that sort of quill and arrow type of thing, you know, when he's on that arrow and he's flying on the quill. So, you know, it's just sort of like that. It's the extra steps that you can take. Give a big shout out to Kevin of Quill and Arrow LOP. We do not like that guy. But, you know, great player. The Quill is a great player.
We do. But I think we have to cut that out.
I think the Quill is a great player.
I wasn't even like, I was just...
I don't think it's gonna have to be cut out. I think we're gonna have to go on here. So now I'm just gonna read off of yours, and I have 3 questions, correct? 3 questions?
Yes, let me get my list.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this. Why not? So then we can just, you know, sort of edit here. So then we can sort of, you know, do our sort of
Yeah, so we can sort of sort it, just to have it sorted and organized.
Oh yeah. And that's gonna be like the way that we sort of do things here. Just to make sure that everything
like TS.
Oh, PML?
Like TS this. I mean TS means this.
Okay, so why don't we just get started here? So with my first question, I'm gonna ask you, does this guy usually go out of the house? Is he an outdoorsy type of person?
So it's a little tough on him because he definitely goes places.
Yeah.
He'll leave the house.
He'll leave the house, yeah.
But when he's leaving, he's not gonna really be a nature type of guy. So he wouldn't be hanging out in the park, in the forest, in the woods, in some shrubs. You know, but he'll definitely leave where he goes.
So he's leaving the house.
He's mobile.
So I'm gonna remove typewriter. I don't think he's leaving the house. I'm gonna remove velvet curtains, not really leaving the house. Sand timer, not really leaving the house either. I think traffic cone would be leaving from the house. We're gonna leave everyone else in there, just for that first question. And I mean, like, no disrespect on typewriter, but he's just not really an outdoorsy guy, you know.
The deal with typewriter, he's gotten older over the years.
He has,
and he's
kinda
definitely
outdated.
He's slowed down in performance. He's kind of the guy just like hang out. He doesn't really want.
He's past his MVP days. 100%.
He's past his prime. He doesn't want to be out and about at this point.
No.
He enjoys the
definitely
simpler things.
Yeah, I mean, he does enjoy those sort of like things that are simpler in life. You know, that's just like kind of like his style, how he rolls.
So
Now,
what we can do is take like a 6-7 word sentence and just add some filler words to make it a little longer.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's just how it works. You know, that's just how it works. So, with my next question, would you say that this guy has a colorful personality?
Indubiously.
Indubiously. So
that's a one-word response.
So we're looking at a guy who's pretty colorful, pretty out there, pretty bubbly, flamboyant, you know, some kind of things like that. So I think Toothpick is gonna get out of here. I mean, I don't think Toothpick is very colorful. It's not a knock to Toothpick. Great player, plays his role incredibly. Just not very colorful, not very.
I mean, they
like
make
that.
colorful toothpicks.
I'm gonna take out Ice Cream Scoop. I just don't think that he's that great of a player. Yo-Yo is also gonna get out of here, just thinking that like he's not very strong in what he does, and kind of like, you know. Actually, I'm gonna keep the Yo-Yo in there, because I do think that the Yo-Yo goes outside of the house. You know.
The Yo-Yo.
Yeah, I think he goes outside of the house. However, next I'm going to be removing. I don't think it's that cactus plant. I don't think he's really going to be in there. And staple remover, not a very colorful guy either. So that leaves me with my last three of the glow stick, traffic cone, and yo-yo. And now, with my last sort of question here. Does this guy play well with Gert? Would you say he plays well with Gert?
Gert?
Gert.
Him and Gert work together.
Him and Gert work together?
I'll put it that way. Him and Gert are close.
Are close, okay. Him and Gert are close. Gert is a great friend of ours, if you guys don't know.
Great friend of the pod.
Great friend of the card. Gert is a great friend of the pod. So, you know, I mean, great person. Go great. He's like a great person.
Yo?
You know? Gert? Yogurt?
No, because Gert said.
Oh, yogurt. Oh, yeah. So
and then he also said Saibao.
Gert did said it.
Because Gert said ICL TSPMO Saibao.
Oh, did he say that?
That's what he said. But
and I mean, Gert also did say draw. He said where draw go. Draw go. You know.
Draw had to go.
Draw had to go.
Same with Irvin.
Irvin. Oh yeah, Irvin. Okay,
Irvin
so I mean, traffic cone, not really Gert's best acquaintance. Glow stick is not so.
Is Glow Stick familiar with Gert?
I don't even know if he plays with Gert.
I think they're in a different type of league.
So I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna go with that yo-yo.
Oh, Yogurt?
Yo-yo.
So yeah, Yo-Yo is gonna be the object today. So I'm gonna give you a round of applause on that one.
And I appreciate that. And I think that's a pretty good performance by both of us today.
I think so.
We
it's
both
good that you were
we
able
both
to,
did kind of decipher these lists in a way
to kind of narrow it down.
Yeah.
In a more efficient way.
It's a very strong performance, and I mean, it just comes with time after all this time. You know, time is sort of like that relative thing, just how Einstein said time is relative.
Oh, the theory of relativity.
Yes, the theory of relativity. So, and you know, if Isaac Newton never invented gravity, then this water would not be pouring out of this cup. Don't you know?
I mean, I would consider it more of a bottle, less of a cup. I mean, this is a cup.
It's more of a
How do you define a cup?
More,
How do you define a cup?
like that guy. He's a cup.
This guy?
Glass cup. Plays in the cup league.
This guy?
This is a bottle.
So TS is a bottle.
So this guy
This guy.
And Tis is a bottle. Tis is a cup. I was talking about Tis guy.
Oh.
Are we on the same page now? Did you kind of flip to my page? Get on the same track as me. I'm just making sure that we see eye to eye here rather than butting heads.
Gert, yo.
Oh, yo, Gert. Yo, Gert. Yo, Gert.
No, side bow twin.
All right, bro. I just don't appreciate that.
I mean, it was kind of the same way because what Gert was doing.
Oh yeah, what was Gert doing?
It was because he knew it was gonna happen, so it was actually really smart.
It was really smart,
but it also could have been really dangerous as well.
It was really smart, but it could have been extremely dangerous. And he
knew it was gonna happen.
I mean, he had to take his opportunity. That's why he did something that was very smart but very dangerous.
So he took a risk.
He took a risk. He rolled the dice. One could say. But sometimes you gotta roll the dice, man. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice for the greater good of the well being. Kind of how my guy very very sorry for my guy here Tung so or he did just get recently cheated on by Ballerino Cappuccino with Ballerino Cappuccino cheated.
Was it Bombardillo Crocodilo?
It was Bombardillo Crocodilo, and it's just
it's sad. You never want to see a guy like Tung have to go through that.
Tung so just doesn't deserve this. He doesn't. He's a great guy.
He's inside and out.
On the exterior and on the interior. Great person overall. I mean, he just doesn't deserve to be cheated on by Ballerino Cappuccino.
And, between me, you, and the viewers.
Yes.
Cappuccino's chuzz.
Chuzz.
Big chuzz.
Big time chuzz. Actually, when you search up chuzz in the dictionary, Ballerino Cappuccino's name comes up.
Yeah. Now, I mean, Rio's good just between me and you, because no one's watching this.
No one's watching this, yeah.
There's absolutely no...
Nobody's watching
this. I highly doubt one person's watching.
Nobody's watching this. Nobody. Absolutely nobody.
But in case the odd event that, like,
in case one person is watching this right now, which nobody is, it's just between you and me.
Yeah. And the viewer, if there is.
If there is the viewer. However, that's very tentative based on if we do have a viewer or not. I don't think we have viewers though, so
no, we don't get viewers.
Nobody's watching.
No track.
This. Nobody's watching this.
No track.
It doesn't matter. For all we could be saying the J word all we want and nobody would know anything.
Okay. See, that's true because I would know it. It offends me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It offends me.
I don't think I should say that. Then. Yeah, we'll keep it up. Now, on brighter news, Tralala did get drafted to the NFL.
Yeah, and he did have to wait. And then he had to wait a little longer.
He had to wait a little longer, but the Browns did take him before Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
He was drafted in kind of like that third round, whereas Shedeur was drafted in the fifth.
In round 5.
Which is unexpected. I mean, we all expected Tralala to go in the first 2 rounds, but...
I think it was part of the thing. They were reporting that none of his friends came to his birthday party.
Tung So was probably he's depressed right now, so he didn't show up for obvious
reasons. He couldn't make it.
Mr. Crocodilo was probably with Ballerino Cappuccino because they are having an affair right now. Now, as far as some of the other guys, not really sure what they were doing. Not really sure.
Maybe he hosted the party on just a bad day.
Maybe it was just an off day. It could have been. Could have not.
Could have, would have, should have.
I mean, it's very close, but it's just the beauty of the game. You gotta be able to recover. You gotta be able to bounce back, and I think that's where he did bounce back going in that third round. They did tell him in meetings and on the phone, it doesn't matter where you get drafted, it matters what you do with the team. And I commend, and I just feel for Tralala to do kind of like the best he can do in the situation that he's been put in.
Yeah.
Would you agree with me?
I would agree.
Indubiously. I mean, Tralala is a guy that we just want to see succeed on the pod.
He's a fan favorite. He's a crowd pleaser. He's someone that you want to see elevate their game, and
we want to see him.
Forward.
Yeah, we want to see him take it to the next level at that.
I think he
position.
Can.
Yeah, I want to see him taking out the best receiver out of the game completely, kind of putting them on an island. I'd love to see that. I would love to see Mr. Tralala kind of get that sort of next step.
We that's something we can hope for.
I mean, all we can do is hope.
And
Because in
most of
end,
the fans root for him, so
very easy guy to root for. He came from humble beginnings, and this is a guy who he's very easy to root for. It's very easy to be a fan of Trallalero Tralalas. Great player, doesn't complain a lot, has all the intangibles. He's
the intangible. So is he gonna be like that first guy in,
last guy out? Yeah,
gym rat mentality.
Yeah,
he's scrappy,
glue
diving for the
guy,
ball.
glue guy, great locker room presence.
Oh.
He has everything that you could want.
He's got the whole package.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a package, and it's whole. Hasn't been opened
And
yet.
he hasn't.
The package hasn't been opened yet, but it will be open soon, probably, presumably,
If he's gonna open
potentially,
the package.
indubiously.
You think he's gonna open it? Does he have box cutters with him?
Penultimately
Penultimately.
subsides with like sort of that potential willingness of it happening. However, not so much.
Okay, I mean, I can see what you mean.
I'm glad that we can see eye to eye here rather than like not see eye to eye. And yeah. Very, very, very incredible stuff. Inspiring story here by Trallalero.
I mean, that's big news for the whole community.
An inspiring story by Trallalero here. I mean, just that sort of like Tralala is like, he's flying, man. So now, yeah,
But does he kind of work in a phonological type of way? Is that
he
usually his
does.
play
He actually
style?
does. So that was one of the biggest things about him. They said that his phonologicality and the way that he plays in sort of those phonologic ways is incredible, and that's one of the things that they applauded him for.
How about his assonance?
His assonance, not very strong.
It's getting there.
It needs to be improved on. I think we can all agree on that. It needs to be improved on.
I mean, the infamy of his rubric needs to be improved.
I mean, however, don't get me wrong, great player. The talent is there.
But he comes off slightly pretentious.
Slightly. That's the number one knock on him.
That's kind of the big concern.
However, he is very easy to root for.
And yeah, I mean, when he's being like his normal self, when he's being sardonic, emergent, slightly obtuse, and a little bit pedantic,
Yeah.
he's a guy you want to be rooting for.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of the clandestine andragogy that kind of makes us viewers like, is he the one?
And
The
I
talent's there,
agree with you.
is the locker room presence going to be an issue?
I'm on your side. I agree with you. I'm in agreement with you, and I'm glad about that. Now, we're going to move into our next segment here. We're going to give our words of the week. So, we are going to give an MVP word of the week, and our most improved word of the week, and our rookie word of the week. So, why don't you start with giving your MVP word of the week, please?
So my MVP of the week, it's been a good week, but I'm going to have to go with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
The word of the week? The Oklahoma City Thunder?
Yeah, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
All in one word, correct?
Oklahoma City Thunder.
Great people. And
I mean, they had a pretty good comeback in game
29-point deficit, and they just erased it completely.
They covered the spread.
Incredible. Great performance there by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Definitely made a lot of people money who, going into the game, they were heavy favorites. So, definitely made a lot of money. A lot of money for a lot of people.
How about your word of the week?
Spread was 5.5, correct? For that game? Spread was 5.5. They won by 6. They just covered the spread.
They covered.
Yeah, so for my word of the week, I'm just gonna give it to flamboyant. Flamboyant. And everyone's always saying that right now is the most flamboyant time of year. Christmas time is oftentimes flamboyant. You have to have some sort of flamboyancy, and I think flamboyant is a very just flowing and great word. Wouldn't you agree with me?
I would agree.
And how to what extent would you agree with me?
I kind of to a
Please.
Pernicious. To a pernicious extent. And in
Okay.
case you're not familiar with that word,
Okay.
it means having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Wait, what does gradual mean?
Overtime.
Overtime?
Yeah, it happens over time.
Oh, like overtime elite?
Oh, yeah. Like overtime, like the end of regulation. Extra time, kind of, sort of that kind of thing. But, we got some great guys here in Flamboyant. So now why don't we give our most improved words of the week? So now for my first most improved word of the week, I'm gonna give it to clandestine.
Clandestine.
Clandestine has been in the league for a while, and kind of like how I like to give my most improved guy is not a lottery player like or someone like that who got drafted high and we expect them to improve as the years going on.
Yeah.
Clandestine was a late pick.
I think he was a
second rounder.
Yeah.
Second rounder.
And he had to wait a little longer.
And
he did.
He did. He was a second rounder. Went pretty late. He worked his way up the depth chart.
He was on a 2-way at first.
He got a starting spot this year though. His 8th year in the league.
Seventh or eighth.
Seventh or eighth.
I think he was part of that 2017.
I think he was around that 6, 7, 8 type of.
Range. Kind of like 6, 7 type type of thing.
Yeah, type of that type of range.
So he was in that clip farming draft.
Yeah. So but Clandestine has now made it to a starting role, and he's put up great numbers this year. I think he's averaging 25-5. After recent years, or
25-5.
25-5 after previous years of averaging less than 10 points. I just think that's a great jump, and it's a big jump too.
It's a marvelous jump, especially from a guy like that.
Yeah,
usually you're not going to expect a player like that to break out in year 7, year 8, and the fact that he's been able to do it, at this point in his career when most people would have written him off.
He didn't write back though.
Yeah, he's actually going to be what's the word for when you can't read and write?
Illiterate?
No. Deaf and blind. No. That's not.
No, I think he's illiterate.
No. There's a word for it.
To someone who's hopefully watching this.
No.
Let us know.
Do you remember the Smith said she has it where
dyslexia?
Oh yeah, he's dyslexic.
However, clandestine is up to very clandestine activities recently, but he's my most improved word of the week. So how about for you?
So I have in my notes here. So my most improved word of the week, it's gonna be Pseudomona ultramicroscopic cystulopha ansoniosis.
Mm-hmm.
So this is it refers to a lung disease caused by inhaling fine ash and sand dust.
Fine ash. So
And
this is ash that's very, very, very high quality.
Or
there's always an or.
My runner-up is sesquipedalian.
Sesquipedalian?
Which describes someone who loves long words or uses them excessively.
So what about people who aren't very fond of long words or more?
Isn't there a word for fear of long words?
They more hate them. They're actually scared of them. More of that sort of hippopotamonster sesquipedalophobia. Hippopotamonster sesquipedalophobia.
It refers to the fear of long words.
Hippopotamonster sesquipedalophobia.
Yeah. And do you have that fear?
No.
You're scared of him?
No. I would have been scared when you said the word. I wouldn't have been
How many times would someone have to say that word to you without you knowing what it meant until you get scared? One day.
Hippopotamonster sesquipedalophobia. Yeah. If I didn't know there was
completely random people.
If I didn't know that it was the fear of long words.
Yes, you didn't know what the word meant.
I'd need 4 people to tell me.
In one day?
Yes.
4 random people.
4 random people.
How about for you to seek shelter?
I would be scared to the point that I need to seek shelter that they're saying hippopotamonster sesquipedalophobia, and I don't know the definition of the word.
Yes, how many times in one day?
18.
18 you'd seek shelter?
18 I'd seek shelter.
And they're completely random people,
yeah.
Like cashier at Walmart.
18 times I'd seek shelter.
J''B, coworkers.
Yeah, at 18 I would be scared and I would seek shelter.
Yeah.
Now, how many times would someone have to say hippopotamonster sesquipedalophobia for you to genuinely be scared for your life and not want to leave the house for a week? Random people, you don't know the definition of the word.
If they're completely random people, like completely, let's just say I'm driving and someone rolls their window down and says the word, or let's just say I'm, at Community Goods, ordering my matcha spanner. Mm-hmm. And then someone says the word, the cashier says the word.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I continue with my unemployed day. I go to Air One. The cashier says the word. The front desk at Equinox says that word.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go home after 8. And then if I leave the next day and I hear it again, I'm coming back for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to be ordering DoorDash. We're not going to be leaving the house.
So what if someone's hit you with the anti-detestable translation? What if someone hit you?
Oh, was that the fear of fearing long words?
No, it's the opposed disability of the Church of England.
Oh, the anti-disestablishmentarianism?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you actually not know what that word means?
No.
This was in our vocab 6th grade. It's meant to it's originally meant to be against the people who are of the removal of the Queen of England.
What about the Flacco and Philipsification?
I actually do know. That's the art of deciding if something's worthless. Do you actually not know that one?
No. Do you know the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
Do you know the xenotransplantation? Xenotransplantation.
Oh, is that when you're transplanting kind of like those xenomes?
It's the transplantation of organs, tissues, and cells between various different species, says Merriam-Webster.
What about the incomprehensibilities?
It's not on my list.
Juxtaposition is here. I know that one.
And what about that thyroparathiodectomized?
Oh, an abnormal desire to pull out one's hair?
No, it's a medical term that refers to the removal of the thyroid glands and the parathyroid glands.
You're kind of using these words in a perfunctory manner, and I don't know if I appreciate that. Especially as you're trying to kind of portray yourself as a sesquipedalian, which I don't really appreciate. It's like you're only using these big words to sound smart.
I see. Very interesting. Very interesting. It's going to be some of those interesting things that have happened. So now for your Rookie of the Week, who would you give it to?
Oh, my Rookie of the Week.
Great water.
Rookie of the Week.
Rookie of the Week. I'm trying to think of who got drafted, but go ahead with your Rookie of the Week.
Lakers and...
Lakers and Fat. However, with recent games and LeBron James hitting the side of the backboard in the clutch,
that was stupid.
The Lakers cannot.
Wait, we're down 2-1, right?
The Lakers
so
cannot
win in 5.
Lakers cannot win in 5.
We can win in 6.
So is it now? Pick 6, flicks,
Twix,
car picks, Lakers in 6.
It'd be like...
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It'd be like a Gert Yo, Sai Bao, Puppy Chow, Lakers in 6.
Lakers are not winning in 6, man. I'll tell you that much for sure, though.
We're losing. There's no chance we win.
I mean, Anthony Edwards is just a great player. Great player. And for my Rookie of the Week, I'm gonna give it to.
Oh, free throws coming for M. Porter Jr.
I'm gonna give it to free throws coming for Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh, so free throws coming for SGA.
Yeah. So if we could turn on the Thunder game right now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is most likely going to be shooting free throws.
I mean, SGA, FTA, kind of rhymes.
SGA, FTA, FGM, Lakers in 6.
No, realistically, the Thunder are rolling through the West.
Oh, the Thunder are destroying everybody in the West. However,
there's an if though.
However, if they do end up playing the Timberwolves in the conference finals and they're up 3-0 against them, don't let them get one.
Don't let them get
one. Don't let the Timberwolves get one.
Yeah, once you let them get one.
Once you let them get one, they can get to 3, and then they'll lose that 7th game. But don't let them win game 8.
It's kind of the same thing like when you give a pig a pancake. Don't give him a pancake.
He's gonna ask for another one. He's gonna ask for syrup.
And then he'll ask for another pancake.
Now, if you give, it's kind of in the same vein. How if you give a mouse a cookie, he's gonna ask for a glass of milk.
But what happens if you give him the glass of milk?
He's gonna ask for another cookie.
Yeah.
And if you give him that other cookie, he's gonna ask for a straw to finish his milk.
But don't let him get one though. Once you give him that straw,
no, don't let him get one. Then he's gonna be addicted to straws.
Okay, so similar to Karan Butler.
Yeah, very similar to Karan Butler, who has a kind of like a straw plug, you know.
Yeah. No, his Karan Butler's straw plug. It's a good one. It's a little throwback. I haven't thought about that in about a year.
Yeah, you know, it's a pretty big throwback. So, do we have any Red Bull here?
Do you see me with wings?
I mean, it does give you wings.
Well, I don't. No. Why do you want Red Bull?
It's okay. It's okay.
Do you actually want Red Bull?
It's okay. Do you got a Red Bull here?
No.
No.
Do you actually want a Red Bull?
It's okay. Well, everybody, thank you for viewing today's episode of the 156 podcast. We really appreciate
appreciate all 0 people watching.
We really appreciate it, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.